The mark of, who remembers what the mark of God is? Raise your hand. The seal of God, the mark of God. Who remembers what it is? Raise your hand.
Ezekiel 9:4.
What is the seal of God?
That's the mark of God. It's the laws.
The laws. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you another question. It's an easy question. If the mark of God, the seal of God is the law, what is the mark of the beast?
Sin.
Oh, very good. Thank you. I thought you were going to say something else. I thought he was going to come out with a microchip. I said, if this guy comes out with a damn microchip. Now, I'm going to clear that up because we went over last week about digital currency. And, you know, Esau has plan A, B, and C. They might throw a microchip out there, but that's not the mark of the beast. Sin is the mark of the beast. Everybody got that? I hope y'all taking notes. Take notes.
All right, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Wakakadash, the bonus of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto this like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Like the brother put this guy right here, man. Holy, you talking about reaching? You talking about, yo. Hey, that's why, from apostle on down, his congregation got to be the most idiotic people on the planet Earth. The semantics. And I'm going to go through, just, I'm going to make this, I ain't going to make this long. It's going to be a bashing or nothing like that. It's just, this guy, he's the devil, man. And the devil just means deceiver. All right? Also slanderer. Because that's why he did it. Undertone slandering. Right? Knowing, and then at the end of this little short clip, it's saying, he's explaining Esau's digital currency. He said, yeah, they might put a market, like they might put a C-hip into it. So what is it? How is it sin? How is the mark of the beast sin? Explain that. It makes no logical sense. And it tells you clearly in Revelation 13 and 16 what it is. And it tells you clearly what Ezekiel 9:4 tells. Man, this is why you have to go to the Hebrew. You got to go to the Greek to understand words. Okay? This is a game that this guy is playing. And to be quite frank, playtime is almost over. All right? And if a lot of those that his congregation, if they can't get it, then they're not part of the chosen ones, man. And the Lord's gonna deal them harshly. And this guy's playing he's playing a game, man. He's really playing a game. A couple of scriptures real quick. I'll make this long. Yeah, that's what we always say. But 1 Peter 2. I'm sorry. 2 Peter 2. 2 Peter 2 and 1. It says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So there's a lot to digest in this, but this is all about those characters, man. The hirelings of Israel. And what this guy is doing, he's denying something. He's taking away and he's denying. Now, going to the Hebrew and the Greek is very important because you will understand words. Okay? Even scholars who gave us this is, I'm using the My Sword app. You got the blue letter, which we always introduced by the apostles, maybe Apostle Tahar, how they look up words and you see these nice G. Like right now it says, I'm looking at teachers, G5572. And you can press the button and it tells you the Greek word for that word, which My Sword doesn't have the thing, so you could hear what it is, and it gives you the definition: a false teacher. All right, a false teacher. It says, a spurious teacher that is a progenitor of erroneous Christian doctrine, false teacher. Daniel, Bishop Nathaniel is a false teacher. Let's keep reading. I read verse 2, right? And many shall follow their pernicious ways. Look up the word pernicious. It says destroying, utterly destruction of vessels, perishing, ruin, destruction of money, destruction which consists of eternal misery in hell, which it is no such thing as hell. So many are following this guy because the way he looks, the characteristics that he presents. He's a cult of personality. All right, he say something, he does diminish the people. He's always in public places and so forth. They follow his ways because of the glitz and the glamour. Jake always fall for that, which I'm gonna get that other thing too real quick. It says by reason of whom the way of truth. So when we apostles break down Revelations 13 and 16, by truth is countless evidence. Even the devil himself, the World Economic Forum is talking about it. You have from Carl Schwab and his I forgot this guy. I can know what something. I always forget his name. He's not important. And they telling you how they want to put something in people. Elon Musk is going hard body to get the C-hip for the brain and so forth. The fourth industrial revolution. All right. They trying to make man with a machine. They want to have the machine. They want to put all your information from your driver's license to your passport to your the C-19 passport, saying that you got X amount of shots and so forth. It's a one thing. All right, it's a one thing. So is it far-fetched that the C-hip is what Revelations 16 is talking about? Is that so far-fetched? But what do? They speak light of it. They speak evil of it. It says, verse 3, and through covetousness shall they with frayed words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. Because the Lord is about to judge 2/3 of the nation of Israel. All right. And I was talking to one of the elders, and he was talking about Manasseh, King Manasseh, and how King Manasseh, he repented. But when you read of King Manasseh's story, the Lord forgave King Manasseh, who he was a wicked Israelite, king of Judah, and he did all sorts of evils, even more evils than his forefathers before him. But the Lord forgave him because he repented. He humbled himself. But what did the Lord say? He said, but Israel, he's not going to forgive. All right? And then let alone the Babylonian captivity. All right? So all these Israelites are just following blindly these evil teachers. You're going to be destroyed. Now I could get the scripture real quick and I'll get back to the other thing. Deuteronomy 13. Is it 13? I believe it's 13. No, it's not 13. But this is a good one too. It's speaking about a prophet of that dream dreams. But there's another one in Deuteronomy. Was it the 8th chapter? No, 18. You just type it in. Try. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's keywords prove. Oh, it is this. I'm sorry. Deuteronomy 13. And I'll start at 1, but the point is at 3. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, giving thee a sign or wonder, and the sign or wonder or the wonder come to pass, wherewith he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or the dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your power proveth you to know whether you love the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, your power, with all your heart and with all your soul. So all of us are being tried daily. All right? That's why you're not supposed to be a man worshiper. You're supposed to, what a man tells you, you're supposed to prove it. You got to follow the spirit of the Lord. Now, Nate been telling his congregation a whole bunch of hot mess. They were supposed to prove him. All right? Because the Lord is proving you. When you look up the word prove, it says the Hebrew word is nash. Right? Nash. To test, try, prove, tempt, assign, put to prove or test. So the Lord's testing you, testing your integrity towards Him. Are you going to follow what these guys say? Prime example, 2019-20, you had these camps, and two in particular, IUIC and IUPK, telling the congregation to go out get the you-know-what. So now people just dropping dead. We had, Lisa Marie Presley, she just dropped dead. Since 2023 started, people are dropping dead left and right. Then this clown, the leader of IUIC, stated when somebody asked him, what do you see 15 years from now? And he telling the guy, you see that thing that people just took? Well, a lot of death. But this is the same guy that told his congregation they're going to get the shit. So guess what? That congregation of people failed the test. They followed after a man that's calling upon Jesus Christ, which countless evidence prove in historic facts that there's no such thing as of J in those times. Why would you call him by another name? All right? And you have the name. He has it. So this is why I bring this out, because 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to be put to death because they follow these leaders blindly. So now let's go to the real thing. Just wanted to bring that out. So this guy reads Ezekiel 9:4. I mean, these guys, man. Ezekiel 9:4. Now, if you don't know what Ezekiel 9:4 is speaking about, read Ezekiel the 8th chapter. It speaks of all the wicked things that Israel was doing. So the Lord called, he had Ezekiel see these things. They're like, look what they're doing. And the Lord called upon, matter of fact, I'll start at 1. Ezekiel 9:1. He cried also into my ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have the charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. So the Lord called his angels, all right? They had charge over the city, meaning they was watching over the city. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the high gate, which lied towards the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with a linen, with a writer's inkhorn. So out of the 6, one of them, his job wasn't to, he didn't have a slaughter weapon. He had an inkhorn. So he was supposed to do what? Write certain things down. And by his side, and went and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the Lord of Israel, or the glory of Yahweh, the power of Israel, was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with the linen, which had the writer's inkhorn. So out of all the 6 angels, This one he's speaking to. All right. So now we have a backstory. So the Lord's talking to his angels who had charge. And this is the instruction that the Lord gave unto his angels, so which was a commandment. The Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. So his job was to go as a spirit, to go through all of Israel, which was Judah, Benjamin, Levi at the time, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. So his job was to set a mark. So that mark, let's look up the word mark in the Hebrew. It's tawa. Desire, mark. Mark as a sign of an exemption from judgment. It says mark, by implication a signature, desired mark. So these are the people that, all right, this brother's sighing and crying for all the things that's going. It tells you reasoning, all right, why it happened. It had nothing to do with sin. Nothing. All right. These people that the angels marked was marked not for death. They was marked for life. Okay. So the Hebrew word for that word marked is tawah, exemption. All right. Verse 5. And to the other angels, this is the 5 other angels with the weapons of destruction, all right, in their hands. He said, in my hearing, in the Lord's hearing. So the Lord's like, look, I want to hear this. Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have you pity. So go and kill, right? Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. So the Lord said, I don't care about what the world considers gender. I don't care about age. There's not going to be no age difference. There's not going to be no age exemption. Okay? Go out there and kill them. I want to hear them cry. Right? This is the Lord speaking to the angels. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. So let's look up the word again. Same word, the why. A desire, mark as a sign of exemption. Let's play dumb. Let's look up the word exemption. Google.
Exemption.
It says a process of freeing or state of being free from an obligation or liability imposed on others. That's one definition. The process of exempting a person from paying a tax or on a specific item of income. So let's look at it in a biblical sense. They was not going to be paying for no other sins. All right, they was right. They was crying. So the Lord said, these are the men that's crying. Don't harm them. They're not part of the problem. Okay? Matter of fact, they want the solution. And I'm going to give the solution. And what did the Lord do? He got rid of a majority of his people that was being wicked. All right? It says, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And begin at my sanctuary. So the Lord said, don't start with the people. Start with the leaders. All right? Then they begin at the ancient men, which were before the house. Same thing is going to apply to this day. The Lord is going to start with those that call themselves Israelites, who are leaders, all right, of camps, leaders of churches, okay? He's going to start by judging them. And what Nate is doing, he's playing a dangerous game, which we've been playing that game. But the game time is almost up, man. I'm sorry, my man. The game time is almost up. So you lied about this and you lied about this. So now let's go to Revelations 13 and 16. Let's start at 15. And he gave power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So what is this image of the beast? This is New World Order, all right? Which this current world is an extension of the Roman Empire, which wants to establish a new world order, okay? And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor. So how do you cause people to sin? How do you force them to sin? All right? And rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in a right hand or in a foreheads. When you look up the word mark, charagma, a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on forehead or right hand as a badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah, the mark branded upon horses, which is what? It's going to be a digital ool, okay? The brand, a mark brand upon horses, the thing curved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous image. It's not talking about that. Let's look up the word. Let's see, sorry, origin, karax, right? That's the origin word for charagma. A pale or stake, a plowshed or rampage. Pels between which earth, stone, trees, timbers, heap or packed together. So this thing is going to be a pell. It's going to pell something. What is it's going to pell? It's going to pell the person's skin. All right? It's something that's going to go within somebody. This is in their right hand on their foreheads. So he's going to cause all these people. He's not going to cause everybody to sin. There's some sin is not worthy unto death. But this sin is worthy unto death. Revelation 14:9 and 10. It tells you that. All right? This is going to lead to the destruction of people. Now, he's playing these semantic games with his congregation, which is a dangerous game, man. And in verse 17, it tells you, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark. So let's go back to this word mark. Does it says anything else? Does it say sin? No. It's talking about a physical thing that must be put into you. All right? Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 603 scores and 6. So it's not speaking of sin in any sort of way. All right? Because sin is what? The transgression of the law. Right? Which, if he had said, this is something that Esau wants you to put, and it says you commit yourself to him, you would have been almost right. Not all the way right. But this man just completely dismisses everything. He's playing a game, man. He's playing a dangerous game. Which the Lord sees it. Revelation 14 and 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, it doesn't matter if it's right or left, it's going to be in your forehead. All right? That doesn't mean it's literally going to be, not literally, but because you're going to be thinking about it. No. Let's see how stupid these people. Forehead, right? Well, the Greek word is metaphor. Sorry. The space between the eyes, the foreheads. All right, which goes into meta. If I'm not mistaken, forehead goes into meta, which so happens Facebook's name changed to Meta. But that's a different story. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. The Lord's righteous anger. All right? So that means there's something that is so devastating that the Lord is not even shown no sort of form of mercy to be given. Because this obviously has to be one hell of a sin that the Lord is going to pour out his wrath on the majority of the people in America, which except for the elect, 2/3 of his own people, all right, he's going to destroy them utterly. Something that they're going to violate so harsh, the Lord's going to cause this to happen. You think he's going to go all that hard for just because somebody is thinking of sin or thinking of you know what? It doesn't make sense. But when you find out this mess technology is not just to put this in your head, it's to give you instructions so you can follow, so you can change your whole entire demeanor to show your loyalty to that digital oil, which that's Esau, all right? Say putting him as your God, then is a whole different ball game, all right? But once again, he doesn't want to teach that because why? Somebody has to be wrong and somebody has to be right. And you want the people that to be right. There's apostles of GMS. You don't want that, all right? It said they should be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and the presence of the Lamb. All right. So for the Lord to take it to that level, this got to be the most evilest thing ever. All right. And how many people in the world have been sinning? The Lord, he didn't do that horrible thing yet. So these guys, they play this game, but once again, the Lord is going to destroy them for that. But like I said, I'm not going to make this long. Everybody should know these things by now. All right? And here in GMS, we from the Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Carl, Apostle Ramlab, the bishops, the elder bishops, Connecticut, from the brothers that you see, 08, 09, 07, been prophesying, telling you that this is the sea hip, all right? That this man is plotting out. Hey, this June, it might be time for the microchip, all right? What you gonna do when it stations, when it tell you you have to take that? What are you gonna do? Well, if you take it, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna be burnt to a crisp with the ICBM nuclear missiles. And who you could think for that? By following blindly, by failing that test, by following men to your own destruction. So take heed. Do not follow Nate, IUIC, IUSPK, GOCC. I think they teach that. All these other camps, because they all going to lead you to your destruction. So with that being said, shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom.